Imagine finishing a careful day of eating, taking your evening walk, and still waking up the next morning to find that soft area around your middle has not changed at all. You have been trying for months. The scale barely moves. Your favorite pants feel the same. And the most frustrating part is that quiet sense that something is working against you while you sleep. For many Americans over 50, the real problem is not just what happens during the day, it is what happens in the hours after dinner. Late night hunger, restless sleep, and rising cortisol can quietly protect the very belly fat you are trying to reduce. What if one simple night drink could help calm that pattern and give your body a better chance to release stored fat while you rest? Hello everyone, and welcome to Health Journey. Today we are talking about a practical evening drink that many people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s are using to support better overnight recovery and reduce the late night habits that keep belly fat stubborn. This matters because visceral fat, the deeper fat around the midsection, becomes more common after 50. Hormonal shifts, less muscle mass, poorer sleep, and higher stress all play a role. The National Institutes of Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention both note that excess abdominal fat raises the risk for blood sugar problems, heart concerns, and lower energy. The encouraging news is that sleep quality and evening eating patterns strongly influence how the body handles that fat. A simple night drink will not melt pounds overnight. No single drink can. What it can do is help quiet late hunger, support deeper sleep, and create better conditions for gradual change. Picture a 65-year-old woman named Linda who lives in a quiet neighborhood outside of Indianapolis. She had been careful with her daytime meals for nearly a year. She walked after lunch most days. Yet every evening, around 9 o'clock, the same urge returned. She would stand in the kitchen looking for something small, just enough to settle the restless feeling. A few crackers, a spoon of peanut butter, sometimes a glass of juice. By morning, the scale stayed the same, and the soft area around her middle felt unchanged. Linda started preparing one simple warm drink about an hour before bed. Within 2 weeks, the late-night kitchen visits became less automatic. Within 6 weeks, she noticed her clothes fitting a little more comfortably through the waist. The change was quiet and steady, exactly the kind that tends to last. Belly fat is not only about calories. Stress hormones and poor sleep can signal the body to hold on to abdominal fat. When sleep is light or broken, the hormone cortisol tends to stay higher. Higher cortisol is linked to more fat storage around the middle. At the same time, restless nights often lead to stronger hunger the next day and more evening snacking. The American Heart Association and Harvard Health both point to sleep as a key factor in weight management, especially around the midsection. Supporting better sleep and reducing late-night eating are two of the most practical levers available to adults over 50. But here is what most people do not realize. The right evening drink can help with both of those levers at once. The drink I want to share with you is warm, calming, and made from ingredients that support satiety and sleep without adding sugar or heavy calories. It uses warm, unsweetened almond milk or regular low-fat milk if you prefer, a teaspoon of raw apple cider vinegar, a small pinch of cinnamon, and optional half a teaspoon of pure vanilla. Some people also add a thin slice of fresh ginger. Heat the milk gently until it is warm but not boiling. Stir in the vinegar, cinnamon, and vanilla. Sip it slowly about 60 to 90 minutes before you plan to turn out the lights. That is the entire habit. Why these ingredients? Warm liquid itself is soothing and can help signal the body that the day is ending. A small amount of apple cider vinegar has been studied for its ability to help steady blood sugar after meals, which may reduce the sharp drops that drive late hunger. Cinnamon supports healthier blood sugar responses and adds a comforting flavor that many people find relaxing. Vanilla provides a sense of sweetness without sugar. The combination creates a light, slightly tangy drink that occupies a little volume in the stomach and feels like a gentle closing ritual for the day. Research from sources such as the Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic supports the broader idea that evening routines that improve sleep and reduce unnecessary late calories can help with long-term weight management, including abdominal fat. Let me show you how this plays out in everyday life. Imagine a 70-year-old man named Frank who lives in a suburb of Phoenix. He had been watching his portions carefully and walking most mornings. Still, every night after the evening news, he felt the pull toward the pantry. He told himself it was just a habit. After starting the warm night drink, Frank noticed that the urge softened within the first 10 days. He began going to bed a little earlier because the drink made him feel ready to rest. After about 2 months, he could see a modest change in how his shirts fit through the midsection. He did not lose a dramatic amount of weight quickly. He simply stopped the evening sabotage that had been canceling out his daytime efforts. Now let's talk about something even more important. The drink works best when it is part of a larger evening pattern rather than a standalone fix. Try to finish your last substantial meal at least 3 hours before bed when possible. Keep the bedroom cool and dark. Limit screens in the final hour. If you take medications at night, check with your pharmacist or doctor to make sure the timing still works with a warm drink. These small adjustments multiply the benefit of the cup itself. The goal is to create conditions where your body can lower stress hormones, improve sleep quality, and reduce the late calories that keep belly fat in place. Stay with me because the next part surprises many people. One of the biggest reasons belly fat is stubborn after 50 is not a lack of daytime willpower. It is the combination of lighter sleep and evening eating that many adults drift into without noticing. When sleep improves even modestly, next day hunger often becomes more manageable. When late night calories drop, the body has a better chance to use stored fat for energy overnight. The night drink supports both sides of that equation. It is not magic. It is simply a consistent signal that the eating day is over and rest is beginning. What happens next may surprise you. Many people expect the scale to drop quickly and feel disappointed when the first changes are subtle. Real progress with abdominal fat is usually measured in how clothes fit, how the midsection feels when you sit or bend, and how steady your energy is during the day. It is common for someone to notice quieter evening hunger within the first 2 weeks, and a clearer difference in clothing fit by the 6 to 8 week mark. That timeline matches how the body actually adapts. Fat loss around the middle is gradual when it is sustainable. So what should you actually do starting tonight? Decide on your preferred warm liquid. Unsweetened almond milk keeps the calories low. Regular low-fat milk adds a little protein that some people find more satisfying. Measure the apple cider vinegar, cinnamon, and vanilla so the preparation takes less than 2 minutes. Sip the drink slowly while you do a quiet activity such as reading or listening to calm music. Notice how your body feels 30 minutes later. If the vinegar taste is too strong at first, start with half a teaspoon and build up. If you have a sensitive stomach or take certain medications, speak with your doctor before making apple cider vinegar a nightly habit. For most healthy adults, the small amount used here is well tolerated. I want to speak for a moment to the emotional side of carrying extra weight around the middle after 50. Many people feel a quiet frustration that the body no longer responds the way it once did. They remember when a few careful days produced visible change. Now the same effort seems to produce almost nothing. That frustration is real. What I hope this conversation offers is a kinder and more practical path. Instead of another strict daytime plan that collapses at night, you can add one calming ritual that protects your evening hours. Over time, that protection often shows up as less late-night eating, better sleep, and a slow release of the fat that has been hardest to move. Let me give you one more real-life picture. A 68-year-old retired nurse named Carol in Minnesota had been dealing with the same soft midsection for several years. She exercised. She watched her meals. Still, the evening hunger arrived like clockwork. After she began the warm night drink and made a point of turning off the television a little earlier, she noticed 2 changes. First, she stopped the automatic kitchen visits. Second, she slept more soundly. After about 2 months, she could fasten a pair of pants that had been tight for a long time. She told her sister that the biggest gift was not the number on the scale, but the feeling that her evenings were finally working with her goals instead of against them. Here is a short summary of what we have covered. Excess abdominal fat becomes more common after 50 because of hormonal changes, less muscle, higher stress, and poorer sleep. Late night eating and restless nights can protect that fat even when daytime habits are careful. A simple warm night drink made with milk or almond milk, a small amount of apple cider vinegar, cinnamon, and optional vanilla can help quiet evening hunger and support better sleep. Drink it about an hour before bed. Pair it with an earlier final meal, a cool dark bedroom, and limited screens. Results are gradual and realistic. Check with your doctor if you have digestive concerns or take medications that might interact with vinegar. The key takeaways are practical. Consistency at night matters as much as effort during the day. A calming evening ritual can reduce the late calories that cancel out progress. Better sleep supports healthier cortisol patterns linked to less abdominal fat storage. The drink is one supportive tool, not a complete solution. And the goal is not perfection. The goal is to stop the quiet nighttime patterns that keep belly fat in place so your daytime efforts finally have a fair chance to work. You have already taken a meaningful step by learning about a realistic way to protect your evenings. Belly fat after 50 is not a personal failure. It is often the result of biological shifts and habits that developed without much notice. One warm drink each night is a small, kind action that many people find helpful. Start tonight if it feels right. Notice how your hunger and sleep respond over the coming weeks. Adjust the recipe until it feels easy to keep. And remember that taking care of your health at this stage of life is less about dramatic overnight change and more about steady support for the body you live in every day. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. Thank you for watching Health Journey.